Hello, I'm Maureen Taylor for TVO at 10. Stand by now for the premiere episode of Mr. Jones with co-hosts Lara McMillan and Jamie Kastner.
The following program deals with mature subject matter and is intended for adult audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
You have the best eyes.
Do you come here often?
Are you wearing space underwear?
Haven't I met you somewhere?
Who's your dentist?
Are those your real teeth?
So what's your name?
Lara Macmillan.
Macmillan?
Macmillan. And yours?
Jamie Kastner. What are you doing here?
Mr. Jones.
Huh?
What about you?
Same, Mr. Jones, yeah.
Which is?
You explain it.
No, you explain.
No, insist. Go ahead.
All right. Mr. Jones is a show,
Uh-huh.
which, like a bar,
Yes.
is a public place where we can be
Go on, say it.
intimate.
Okay, well, so, you host here often?
I know it's a cornball thing, but love is passion. Obsession. Someone you can't live without. Find someone you can love like crazy and who'll love you the same way back.
Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night.
How'd you find him? Well, you forget your head and you listen to your heart.
Romeo, Romeo.
Hi there, this is Bob calling.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, Toots? It's me, Joey.
I'm looking for a woman who is tall yet clean.
Someone that likes their mother and hopefully likes my mother.
I'm a temp, but that's not like a permanent thing.
Because the truth is, honey, there's no sense living your life without this. To make the journey and not fall deeply in love, well, you haven't lived a life at all. But you have to try, because if you haven't tried, you haven't lived.
Forget your head and listen to your heart. When Anthony Hopkins says it, you can almost believe it's possible. But is it?
Well, that's exactly what we want to talk about tonight on Mr. Jones, that cornball thing called love, and how we manage to keep wanting it to be a forever kind of feeling. But the evidence does not support it.
We all know about the 50% divorce rate. But why is it 50%? Consider that never before have there been as many people free to make their romantic choices all by themselves. Most of us living in Western countries no longer need to worry about the religion, ethnicity, or class of our potential mates. For many...
Speak for yourself. Go on. No, fine.
For many, parental approval no longer seems as much of a concern as it once was. So the pool is so much bigger, we have more choices. Are we any better at exercising them?
Whether we are or not, the current issue of Brides magazine is going to be the fattest issue ever. On the other hand, it'll be found on stands right next to the increasingly fat Divorce magazine. It's almost as if all of us live on two planes, KLM, and we hope that marriages will last, but then we all know the odds are not great.
So the secret to a good relationship is...
What?
Well, the best possible answer is we haven't got a clue. So this is the question we want to raise with you tonight. Is there a chance for us to learn how to mate better? Or is it time to give up on the romantic fantasy of the one and the only?
Maybe if we had some diagrams of how to make... Mr. Jones is a tall, dark, phone-in show. We want to hear from you. Have you given up on the hope for a lifelong romance? Do you think it's a mere figment of feverish, poetic imagination than a realistic hope? Or do you believe that you have it in you to win the big prize in the romantic lottery? Our number is 1-877-366-6393. And as you're thinking about how you feel about this question, let us introduce to you a modern fairy tale of sorts. It's the little story about a boy above
and a girl.
Well, anyway, we won't get into that. And their matchmaker. I won't sing this song.
She was 30 years old, and I was 29. She was very slim and very tall and long blonde hair and light blue eyes and very lovely and very attentive, and she had no attitude whatsoever. She wasn't pretentious, and she was open to me. We went out for 2 years, and I was busy with school. I made it very difficult, so she had no choice but to leave. And it was very emotional, and it was very tough. And she would drive in the middle of the night from Boston all the way to New York, and she would leave in tears. And I really wasn't too affected by it. And I'm pretty ashamed about that now, because that's not the way I would be right now. I've grown since then. Had it been now in my life that I would have met her, I'd have a ring in my pocket that I would offer to her.
In all the years I've been dating, I've had one serious, meaningful relationship. I met him when I was studying abroad, and we just connected on every level. And even though we didn't speak the same first language, we communicated brilliantly, even if we weren't talking to each other. What he understood about me that many men don't seem to understand is that even though I'm funny and outgoing and vivacious, I also have a sad side. You know, I like to be alone, and I think he sort of knew how to nurture me when I was, you know, in those phases. He knew how to be supportive and coddling without being overbearing. We achieved a level of intimacy that I've been unable to achieve in any other relationship since then.
I am looking for a young lady who is, I'm looking for a young lady who believes in me.
I want to be with a man who's ambitious, has a job, is not uncertain about who he is and what he wants out of life. He knows what he's all about, and he's had some time to reflect on what his emotional challenges have been.
You want to be hooked up with an individual who is playing on the same team. You don't want to feel like you're sleeping with the enemy.
The type that I've fallen for in the past has been a sort of live in the moment kind of a person, here today, have fun now, kind of a bit nutty, maybe not completely balanced.
I find that women in general are wonderful actresses. They should all go into acting. Look at the way they fake orgasms. I mean, they always pull it off. And it's tough for women. Women also have to have a hard time trusting men. But everyone seems to be out for themselves.
It's hard. It's hard to, I mean, I'm also quite tall. I'm 5'10", and I don't really like men who are shorter than me, but, you know, I'm going to have to give up on some of these qualities because there aren't that many Jewish men who are over 5'10" and not alcoholics and straight and kind and all these things that I'm looking for.
Well, I haven't met my soulmate yet, so I believe in soulmates. I don't believe a soulmate necessary. For some find their soulmates, others don't. I do believe that there is a soulmate out there for everybody. And unfortunately, there's a winner and there's a loser in life.
Irene, how you doing? I got somebody fabulous for you. I'll tell you all about him, okay? He is in the right age range, in his 50s. He's divorced. He was married for 7 years. He's got a daughter that is on her own. Everything attracts. There's no telling. If this job is hard enough for God, can you imagine? How can I come up with a formula that is a tangible formula to match people together. It's not tangible. It's something that comes from heaven. I would say that there is actually a difference between what men are looking for and what women are looking for. I think a lot of women are looking for companionship, security. Men, generally speaking, are looking to be attracted to their woman and to be mesmerized and captured by their woman. They want provocative women. They want to be captivated by their women, and they lose interest if they're not. That's a man. He thinks with his bottom half. And a woman thinks with her top half. I've known Brian for over a year now. I've set him up with a few girls. They have not been his mates. I have not met Brian's mate. But as soon as somebody comes that really hits me for Brian, he'll know, because I'll call him so enthusiastically. Have I ever called you like that enthusiastically?
You're always enthusiastic.
Okay, but if
You're
I
more
said this is the
than
one.
Fran Drescher.
Okay, but if I said
Look like.
if I said, Brian, this is the one. No, I haven't said that. I said, let's give it a try. This is what she's like. This is what she looks like. This is what you say. You know what? I'll give her a call, because he's pretty easygoing. He's pretty open-minded. You'll pretty much meet. You know, as long as she has potential, you'll meet her.
Now, she arrived between 10 and 15 minutes late, which is no big deal. Apparently, that's fashionably acceptable.
I remember he had been waiting for me for about 10 minutes because I was late. And I noticed he kept his jacket on, and he's kept his jacket on.
And when she arrived, I was disappointed.
And at one point I said, look, do you have one foot out the door? Why don't you just take your jacket off?
It's a young lady who is attractive, because Leanne is attractive.
You know, I'd read a lot into that. That it was like a safety blanket.
But she's not my type.
Couldn't just
And that's the truth.
feel exposed.
And I was disappointed. You know, my heart dropped for a second, which happens 99% of the time.
I remember thinking, has this guy had a nose job? I just remember thinking he had a funny-looking nose. And I know it's very superficial of me, but I just sort of wondered, what kind of guy has a nose job?
I didn't sit there and fantasize about seeing her naked or seeing her in we did discuss her being in a private school outfit. We were joking around about that.
I remember he has a youthful quality to him.
Yeah, it did.
Playful quality. I just kept thinking Michael J. Fox, without the Parkinson's.
But we had a wonderful time, and I would love to see her again.
But he's certainly attractive, and, you know, I wouldn't say no, definitely not.
Well, that was really something. I mean, Brian especially, when he was saying, now she is attractive, and Leanne is attractive.
And she is attractive.
She is attractive.
And so is he. He is attractive. So whose side were you on? If you had to choose between Brian and Leanne to go on a date with?
Well, I think I'd have to choose Leanne.
Well, okay, Brian and I will meet you at the... No, I mean, I think it is an interesting kind of thing, the extent to which they both want everything perfect right off the bat. There's that sense, if he doesn't look right when he walks in the door, if she has the right kind of posture but not the right kind of, I don't know what, she's not right away.
And that's what I was saying. With Brian, he says, you know, she is attractive, she's just not the right kind of attractive. So from the minute that he sees her, you know, there isn't...
He's got a prejudgment. I mean, nobody's ready to take any time, like an hour on live television, to get to know each other.
Those of us who are looking for that...
this is what happened. Would you like to leave now? Because it's possible. Excuse me.
Oh, James just spilled his drink. Those of us who are looking for that special someone carry a mental picture of the qualities we want. And what are we looking for that could make us oh so happy?
Well...